Hey, it's Aaron, the metal theologian. So first of all, at the risk of being like overly narcissistic, I've been a little spotty lately. Some of you asked about me. Kind of been going through some shit, as I said in the last video. I won't go into it. Pretty much coming out the other side right now. But everyone who's like asked after me or just kept me your thoughts, I appreciate it a lot. Shit's been basically okay, but it's been very stressful, and I just haven't been in the right frame of mind. So if you reached out to me, you know who you are. Thank you. I appreciate it. Alright. So, shit, man. I just knocked the fucking camera. Damn, I'm having enough trouble setting this thing up since I got out of the swing of it. Alright, so today I've got one that's, at least for me, is kind of special, because this is a Kentucky classic. This is AL8, or AL81, actually. It's funny, it says AL81 on the thing, or a late one. But I actually work with a guy from Kentucky who calls it AL8, and he's been telling me about this for a while. Finally managed to track it down. And I'm pretty anxious to pop this bad boy open. So here we go. The camera keeps slipping, man. So here we go. Cheers. This has caffeine. It's sort of like a proto energy drink, one of these old ass sodas. Bottled in Winchester, Kentucky, and apparently not very easy to get outside of Kentucky. So. It's kind of similar to what I expected. It's like a lemon lime soda, but it has a really dry sort of edge to it. You know what I mean? It's not like a 7-Up or a Sprite. It really has something going on. The finish is so dry, it almost seems like a hint of medicine-y sort of taste, but without actually being medicine-y. It's just like it's just really crisp. You know what I mean? And it's refreshing, too. It's funny, because when you say dry, I think martinis. I don't necessarily think of martinis as being particularly refreshing, you know. They're useful for other things, but not for fucking quenching your thirst, right? Unless the thirst you're trying to quench is a thirst for drunkenness. Alright, so anyway, I've already talking about the one I'm playing, but I'm going to get to it in sequence. Kind of the big thing lately, actually, for me, is I've been playing the shit out of this record that I'm about to show. It's one that I've kind of seen as one of the lesser records in the dude's catalog. But I just put it on for the hell of it recently and found that I really, really like this thing a lot. So, this is actually Ohm by John Coltrane, which is the first one of his that I heard that really tripped me out. Like, I heard this fucking record. I mean, I'd heard, like, Blue Train before, right? And which time when I was in high school, but... You know, I thought of jazz, I thought hard bop like most people do, and I'd never heard anything remotely like this. I was like, holy shit, I didn't know that music could be that, you know? So, you know, I can see why it gets criticized, you know, some of the stuff about, like, I am home and all that shit. I mean, I can see that's a little bit cheesy, but the fact is, man, I think for listenability, this record might beat Ascension in its own game. As far as being a fun record to listen to, yeah, it's crazy, and if you're not into free jazz, you might think I'm on my tree saying shit like that, but the fact is, it doesn't drag on for a long time. It's like about 15 minutes aside. It says what it intends to say, and it moves on, and it's just, it's really direct in its own way, you know what I mean? Not just direct as far as, you know, sort of psychosis, but just direct as far as being to the point and not really wasting your energy, engaging you on some other level. Anyway, sort of the mystery accompanying Coltrane for me has been Pharoah Sanders, because, I don't know, I haven't really gotten Pharoah Sanders the way I feel like I probably ought to, so I actually busted out a couple of his to listen to him lately. I played this one. I kind of wish I had more to say about it, but I kind of don't. I enjoyed it more than I expected to. You know, I've tended to think, oh, whatever, because I tend to think of Karma, which is the first one I heard, and I'm not really crazy about that record. I kind of think it's hokey. But I think that's kind of more Leon Thomas than Pharoah Sanders, really. I think he's kind of hokey. But anyway, that one, and this one I really like a lot. This is actually the only one that I've had in the past. I had this on CD a long time ago, and got rid of it. I got rid of all my CDs, then found the record again maybe a year or two ago. But this one I really like a lot. It's not all quite as free as some of the other ones. You know, it's definitely, I would call this a free jazz record for sure, but It's not all just sort of the screaming type of, noisy, just really harsh attack that you kind of associate with Pharoah Sanders from records like, Ohm or the one with Coltrane live in Seattle and that sort of thing. This is just a really listenable record too. And, yeah, I don't know, I need to spend a little more time with these. I think I might be coming around on Pharoah Sanders. If I end up digging these, the one that'll really sort of be the litmus test for me is his record on ESP, which I just thought was a complete piece of crap. So if I come back around in a couple weeks and I'm going, oh my god, Pharoah Sanders' ESP record is fucking genius, then you'll know that I've been won over like 100%. Because I don't know, it's been one of those things that eats at me. It's like I did a video about this when I talked about, Roland Kirk, and Venom, who I like just fine all the time anyway, but there are a few artists where I don't like them, but I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like there's something that's going over my head or something like that, and Pharoah Sanders has been one of those guys for me. It's at first I thought Karma was cool before I really knew it, and when I actually got into jazz, I was like, man, this just sounds like crap. But then I sort of got into the free thing, and it didn't really seem like he was contributing much, and so I feel like, okay, I dig Coltrane, I dig Albert Eiler, Eric Dolphy isn't that free anyway, I dig Peter Bertzman, you know what I mean? What is it about Pharoah Sanders that's not clicking, so... Alright, here's one. There's a brand new reissue. This actually came on my birthday, which is September 11th, but I pre-ordered this bad boy, and I'm really happy to see this. This is the Pat Patrick album, called Sound Advice. It's actually Pat Patrick and the baritone saxophone retinue, and this came out on Saturn Records in, I think, 77? So it's very rare. I mean, you've seen people pay upwards of $800 for originals, and I don't know. I mean, I was that kind of metal collector. I don't want to become that kind of jazz collector because it's just too much, So, this is actually 8 saxophones and 8 baritone saxophones and a rhythm section, and I love this record. It actually doesn't sound anywhere near as sort of avant-garde as what Sun Ra was doing, in the 70s. This was actually recorded a couple of years before it came out. It almost sounds conservative in a way, because it kind of harkens back more to like sort of the Duke Ellington, that sort of thing. But I'm not sure if that's just like the group of saxophones playing together, which you tend to hear in those big band type of records. And I don't know if maybe I just love it because I just love the fucking sound of a baritone saxophone. I can listen to it pretty much all day long, no matter what they're playing on it. But this record is awesome, man. I'm so into it. I did an absolutely beautiful job on the thing, too. This is, a silk screen cover. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, it wasn't cheap, but it was a lot cheaper than original, and I'm just really happy to have this bad boy in my hands. Alright, and the last jazz one for today, then we'll move on to some rock stuff, is actually this one, which I gave another chance to. I've had the song, just starting this morning actually, I've had the fucking song Take Me to the Mardi Gras in my head like all day long, and I don't know, I like that song, but I got this record for like $1, and I thought it was kind of a piece of shit. So I gave it another chance today. It's definitely not like his first like free jazz record. It's really not as crappy as I heard later in the 70s. It's softer than I'd like it to be, but I really like that Fender Rhodes sound. I will say, In the Garden, I think is a total piece of shit, because I think anything incorporating Pachelbel's canon is a fucking piece of shit. And you think I'm hard on Van Halen? Get me fucking started on Pachelbel or Vivaldi sometime. And in fact, the Baroque era in general, the Baroque and the Classical eras are maybe the most overrated fucking periods of music in all of music history. Fucking, I hear Chodes going off on Mozart like he was the greatest thing because he wrote this shit when he was 5, and I'm like, well, it fucking sounds like a 5-year-old wrote it, you know what I mean? Like, Beethoven, you could hear he had some pain and shit, you know what I mean? Like, she was working through fucking Mozart, he sounded like this little fucking pampered brat writing that shit, so... Anyway, I'm going off on Mozart, and I actually like some Mozart. I pretty much hate all Vivaldi, but if there's one piece of music I really fucking hate, it's Pachelbel's canon, and leave it to that fucking chode Bob James to go, hey, I think I'm going to take the most irritating piece of music of all time and put it right in the center of the record, so I can't skip over it at the beginning, or like, just end the record like at the end, you know? But anyway, all that said, Valley of the Shadows is kind of cool, Solero is good, Nautilus is kind of cool, Night on Bald Mountain is kind of shitty, just like you'd expect it to be. Although, I'll take Grieg over Pachelbel any day of the week. But I just don't need those kinds of adaptations, you know? So, I don't know, man. I've warmed up to this record a lot. This is actually supposed to be a positive review of this Bob James record. But I just don't need that shit, man. I don't know what the fuck he was thinking. I think the only Paco Bell thing that's worse than that one is probably the Lover's Concerto by the Toys. Alright, so this is when I actually kept this one sealed when I got it. This is a Thrice Mice record. And this is a total like German prog rock thing. It's like definitely on the jazzy end of the spectrum. Lots of saxophones. 4 long songs. And you know what makes this thing distinctive to me? I just thought I really liked the songs. It's kind of funny to say that about a record as total prog as this, but I think this was a one and done band. If I'm not mistaken, Thrice Mice reformed under a different name after this one record and then made some more shit. But this one, you know, it's an old German thing from like 71 or something. You're not going to find an original. So this got reissued and I jumped on it. It's on the Long Hair label, which I plug kind of a lot in my videos. Just about anything they put out is at least worth a listen. So that record I dig a lot. In contrast to this one, which I actually showed in one of my first videos, I only really just got around to listening to this thing, but this is really kind of a disappointment. It's electronic mostly. It has some kind of sort of acoustic parts in it, sort of moving on, and it sounds like, I mean, it looks so cool, and it's kind of a Klaus Schulze thing, but it kind of sounds to me like he was going for some of the shit that he was doing on this record, and for somehow this record just sounds much more fully realized to me. Even though if you played this record and said, hey dude, that record bores the crap out of me, I'd say, you know, I totally understand. Maybe it's just that I've spent more time with it and assimilated it. I'm going to spend a little more time with Code 3, because Planet of Man might be the greatest record ever, but I can totally hang with Cyborg. Code 3 was just, I don't know, just kind of lame. There's a cool pressing of this record, by the way, so I'm showing it off. I actually haven't played this lately, but I figure y'all want to see the good stuff, right? That's why you come here, is to see the good shit, right? Speaking of the good shit, here's one. This is actually what we're listening to right now, and this is one that when I got it, I wasn't crazy about it because it's too bluesy for my taste, but I busted it out just a couple days ago and fucking loved it. I've been playing it a lot. It's Días de Blues, which is one of, I don't think it's my only record from Uruguay, but I don't have a lot of bands from Uruguay. But you can probably hear it. It's kind of bluesy. It's a 3-piece, 1972. This is an A Karma reissue, and it's fucking great, man. I just love it. So there we go, Días de Blues. Check it out, especially if you're into that whole bluesy thing. Garner, if you're watching. It's funny, this one came up in conversation as an old friend. I'm trying to remember who I was talking with. There's someone in the VC. It's probably Greeno, actually. But this is another one that just got some action recently. Fucking bought this record in high school for $2. And see what kind of shitty shape it's in. It's like it's kind of torn and it's all ring worn. And the record's all scuffed up and shit too. You know something? I actually bought an upgrade of this record. But when I want to hear it, this is still the copy I reached for. Because this is my copy. This is the one I fell in love with. And I'll tell you, I love this glam shit. When I first moved to San Francisco, actually, a friend of mine there, I played this and like the first Kiss record. And a couple other like straight ahead, like kind of hard glam rockers, so much that he referred to this whole style as Aaron music. Excuse me. I've been fighting off a cold, so. Anyway, fucking Slade, man, I love that. I wish I liked Slade Alive half as much as I like that one. I just don't hear it. And I thought they were kind of spotty here and there. I thought they were really bad in the 80s. But that record just does it for me. Goodbye to Jane and My Town are two of my favorite songs ever. Oh, and Squeeze Me, Please Me. And Come On, Feel the Noise, let's be honest. Alright, here's another German one that's really hit. This is Konrad Schnitzler with, actually with the singer from Tonsteine Scherben. Actually, no, the drummer from Tonsteine Scherben, whose record, one of their records I showed in my last video, I think. But this record is like, it's weird, it's like they're trying to make a Neue Deutsche Welle record, like German New Wave record, but they kind of didn't know what the hell they were doing, so it's like weird and just colored strange and mostly electronic, really sort of catchy songs, but not. They're kind of just a little bit darker than like what Cluster was doing on like Zuckerzeit and Zovi Zozo. Yeah, this is a great record though, man. I heard this thing, it just blew my mind. It's not like as far out as most of what Konrad Schnitzler did, but it's just fucking fantastic. So I also busted out the record that to me is that one's like spiritual brother, which is this one. It's really the only other record I could even compare that one to that I can think of. It's Rasta Kraut Pasta by Möbius and Planck. And you've probably heard of this one. This one gets a fair bit of hype, especially because it has Holger Chukai from Can on it. It's a very cool record. This one's a little bit more self-conscious, though, than the Konrad Schnitzler one, which is kind of a weird thing to say when you're talking about someone as avant-gardedly minded as Konrad Schnitzler, but I don't know, this one just feels a little more like it's knows what it's, or they both know what they're doing. I don't know, just a little more self-conscious, I don't know. I love this record dearly. I about jumped for joy when I found this at a shop when I first moved to San Francisco. I actually already had it on CD. I saw this original for $20. I was like, sold! Hooray! But, yeah, fucking great record. Between these two, though, if I had to pick one, I'd probably go for the Schnitzler. But that's very hard. And I couldn't part with either one. Alright, finally, last but not least, busted out another old friend today. This is one I haven't played in a while. That's not the sort of thing you see a lot of in my videos, but this is another record that's very close to my heart. When I first heard this thing, it just blew my mind, and it still blows me away today. I mean, it sounded like Terror Rain. I just can't believe it's actually a real fucking song. Fucking Quit's the first song on it, blew my mind, right? The whole first side, and the second side's great too, but just a little bit rougher. Meaning, a little less fully realized, like not quite as sort of extreme, and yeah, it just blows my mind. So, Septic Death. It's a British version. I think it doesn't need so much attention, but now that I have the attention, what do I do with it? So anyway, that's it. So I think we got kind of a variety there. I've kind of been oscillating a little bit and back and forth between styles, as is probably obvious. Not a lot of metal, but a lot of 70s shit and a lot of jazz, so. And there we go. And you know something, actually, that like that spoken intro at the beginning of Ohm kind of reminds me of the intro at the beginning of the Von Elmo records. Maybe I'll even bust that one out and show it next time. But that's what's been spinning, and I think there's even one new arrival in there. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to finish my AL8 and Días de Blues. Oh, look at that. I finished with the record.